Hi. So, feedback. BR Liberty V7A5. Uh, by the way, you will hear my fantastic mechanical keyboard. I'm really sorry. I can't do anything about it. You'll have to endure it. Feedback. I want to say that I like this version more than the previous one we've tested. I like the changes. I think you've listened to my advice about loops because I see more of them. There's more loops in this map now. And honestly, it's more dynamic now. I've said that multiple times already. The whole match was less stagnant. A lot more moving around, kiting, rotating and shit. I really like that. So I think you're on the right track. But the thing with dynamic game modes like this one, like PD, King of the Hill, this Bounty Rush, is you always have momentum. You're always attacking. You're not really defending much, and that's also a byproduct of adding more loops to the map. Is loops make it so you don't just stay around. You always rotate around loops. You fight, you kite back. You're always on the move, and you always have this momentum, and you can just like stop this momentum. And what happens when you killed everyone on mid? You just naturally carry this momentum forward. You push. Where do you push? You push where the enemies are coming from, to their spawn. So it's just a natural byproduct of like player psychology. And so going back to psychology, high ground actually I think plays a big role in that, because when you are on high ground and the enemy is on low ground, you just naturally have advantage against them, and you are naturally just going to be more aggressive. And if you look at every route to the spawn area, there's always high ground. Here, I stand here, the spawners are on low ground. I can just spawn camp them. Here, I'm on high ground. Here, high ground. And so what I think should be done is this whole area should be raised so that whoever attacks here and tries to spawn camp is at disadvantage. I've seen you showed screenshots for the next version, and you added like high ground here, right, and ramps and stuff. And that's good, but I don't think it doesn't really fix the issue, because high ground is only a part of that. But basically, as I said, raise this whole area. This is like, imagine this can be a ramp as well, but it's a reverse ramp, right? It's whoever attacks here has to scale this ramp up. And basically, at every opportunity, whoever tries to push here will have to be on a low ground at a high disadvantage. You can make this thing like a drop down, a ledge basically, where to like get up here you have to crouch jump. It won't stop people from going up here, but it will make it harder. It's like less advantageous to do so. And for example, if you're fighting someone here and they are, first of all, you are at a disadvantage. There's like, it's less chance that you will be fighting someone. But like if you're winning and they're wounded and they have to retreat, there's less chances that you will follow them, because like this is harder to get to, right? The next thing that allows for spawn camping is that spawn campers just have a lot of cover. They can always retreat somewhere. This side area, I think, was the main like route for spawn campers. And basically, imagine I spawn camp here, spawners come out, they start shooting me, and I can just retreat back. Bam! I have cover. They go to this choke. I kill them in this choke. I can bam retreat behind another angle, and there's like this whole area is just this. It's just kiting. Look at how many angles you have to clear as a spawner when walking out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and like if we're generous, this is the 6th one. That's a lot of stuff you have to clear, and that's like, yeah, it's like it's fighting here. Fighting happens here, and you can say like that's good, that's gameplay. But I think it's less exciting to like fight in this area than on like mid. You probably want people to fight here or like there, but not in like a tunnel, because tunnels are not very exciting to fight in. And this whole serpentine design, I guess it's good for breaking sightlines and partitioning the map for better performance, but it just creates this issue. I think this whole thing can be simplified. And other routes, they also have this, where basically I can spawn camp, and then I quickly retreat behind cover. I spawn camp, I quickly retreat behind cover. Same thing here. And this also has like health and ammo. I'm not sure why health and ammo is here, by the way. It's like it exists for spawn campers. Basically, what you need to do is push this psychological effect, make it look disadvantageous for spawn campers to even be here, make it look unfeasible to spawn camp. Oh yeah, right. There was a moment during playtest where a demo man would just sit in the corner near our spawn and like sticky trap our door for like half a minute. I don't think he killed anyone, and the moment I walked up to him, he just suicided. That was so stupid. How the fuck did he get there? The next thing I've said in my feedback is that I think scouts dominate this map, and that they're very oppressive. And I think that's because, look, this map, it's huge. It's long and wide in some places, and I'm not critiquing that. That's like alright, but that's like, this is more than 1,000 hammer units, right? This whole area, this whole sightline, and these kinds of like distances, they're dominated by sniper and scout. Sniper because, well, no damage fall off, and scout because he's the fastest class. He can take advantage of this with his speed. And sniper wasn't really a problem. I think that's because you're on the right track. The design, there's all these, like, you can loop around, you can rotate, you can outflank the sniper. I don't know, it wasn't a problem. But scouts, basically, yeah, they're like, it's a playground for them. But that's not, I'm not like critiquing that, that's not necessarily bad. But the thing is, it gets exacerbated by the amount of, like, the sheer amount of easily available high ground that scout can just take for granted, but without like sacrificing anything. For example, this, I can just do a double jump as scout and I instantly get height advantage. Imagine if you're someone who walks out from this route, you walk out, you see the scout, he sees you, he starts shooting you, and what are you gonna do about it? Unless you're a hit scan class, you can't fight, you can't really fight back, because like, what are you gonna do? Walk up to him? No, he's just gonna kill you, Lamau. And I remember I played the Spyro, and it happened multiple times where I would just walk out, see this, and say nope, and rotate back and play somewhere else. And like, you can flank him here, I guess, but it's not very like, it's not very pleasant fighting him here, because this wall exists. He can just retreat behind this thing. There's also like people coming from here shooting you. It's like, he is the king of the hill in this area. He controls this whole area. Also, these houses, again, it's just free real estate for scout. He jumps here and he instantly gets control of this whole site. And I didn't really see many soldiers or demos doing this, but I can imagine if a soldier gets up here, he can just spam this whole choke, and like, you can't really get out of here. Like, what are you gonna do? The height advantage for them is insane. And if you're like walking out from here, you can't even see the enemy. Oh, by the way, disable the shadows. You can't even see the enemy. You have to move your camera in such an unadvantageous angle that it's like, you're at a huge disadvantage, and you're probably not even gonna look here because enemies are probably there or there. You're fighting someone else, and like, they will just chip shot you, and if they dealt enough damage, they will go down and finish you off. So what I think you can do is turn this thing into like a ticket booth, tall enough that scouts won't be able to just jump up here, only soldiers and demos. because like it makes sense. This is a cinema, a ticket booth makes sense, and this will get a bit claustrophobic, I think. So you can remove these houses and like make this a little bit of playable space, but like make turn this into a wall, right? Yeah. So another piece of high ground that is, I think, problematic is this hedge. There's so many ways for Scout to get up here from here, from this car, from this van. And by the way, yeah, I've pointed out this van that you can like basically jump here as any class, and it's already like there's already height disadvantage for whoever comes from here, but you can also like pressure them even more by using this as your high ground. Yeah, so hedge, when you're up here, as like I've seen so many scouts and soldiers being here. When you're up here, everything is low ground, and you are controlling it. This, and the moment someone starts pressuring you, by the way, I can see their spawn exit from here. I can shoot into their spawn. The moment someone starts pressuring you and you get too much damage, you can just retreat back and you instantly get cover and pickups, and like you can just retreat and be on your merry way. And as someone like, imagine I'm someone who comes from here and Scout is there. What am I gonna do to them? I can be like, they're just gonna cheap shot me and force me to retreat somewhere. Like it's not very engaging. I can be like a soldier or demo man and I can jump, but he's just gonna kill me. I can't contest this in any good way. And if I deal enough damage to him, he's just gonna retreat, and like that's the end of this engagement. It's not very fun. By the way, consider using hedge models from Frontline. They're pretty cool. Yeah, one thing I almost forgot is if you look at this, like if you remove the walls, you can see that this like whole road, all of these routes, they're on the same level. Like there is no height variation. It's just the same height throughout. And that's maybe just a little bit boring. There are things you can jump on, but like I think you can raise this area, like this area, a bit, and make like stairs here. So this is like the low ground, and this is like the river. Yeah, I think that's mostly everything I wanted to say. Can you, by the way, please fix this? It's so distracting. Another thing, I think, it just came to my mind. You can move this a little bit further, this whole area, and move this money to closer to the edge, so anyone who tries to collect this, like, so it's more out of the way, so you have to go, like, you have to commit. It's not something you just, like, nonchalantly take when you happen to be on meat, but it's like, it's more out of the way, and you have to commit and take these $100, and if they're near edge, you're more at risk from being pushed into the death trigger. And the thing that came to my mind, if you push this further, you can create this like cool flank sort of rotation for jumping classes, where they could jump over the death trigger, jump over the water for some nice flanking. And this is I think would be an interesting design. Yeah, that's, I think, everything I wanted to say. I believe the map has potential, and you're doing good so far. So keep it up, and good luck.